Hey guys, so I'm excited because we're going to be making a healthy recipe, breakfast potatoes.
Yeah, and here in the kitchen to help us make them is Chef Mike from Joliet Junior College.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to be here to make some healthy food to get kids healthy.
Yeah, that's right. So, Joliet Junior College, what exactly do you do there?
I'm actually the department chair for culinary arts and hospitality. So I'm a chef, but I went into teaching, left my restaurant business about 16 years ago and been at Joliet now for about 16 years. So I'm kind of like the executive chef. So I do some cooking, but I have to do a lot of paperwork.
Oh, best of both worlds.
All right, so let's get started.
We're going to make this healthy frittata today. Really great things. It's a vegetable one, so no meat. We're going to only use vegetables today.
No meat.
No meat. Because healthy, you know, meat is good and healthy and stuff, but meat has cholesterol and a lot of fat. We're going to make it low fat today, low cholesterol. Something that's going to really help us to kind of stay in shape.
It's still going to be good, right?
It's going to be great.
All right.
Okay.
So we're going to start out by cutting some bell peppers here. I'm going to show you guys a quick and easy way to cut a pepper.
Okay.
We take the top off, we take the bottom off, and then we can just kind of come down these sides like this.
Wow, that actually looks really cool.
Pretty easy, right? And when we do it, look at, I have no seeds inside here. Here's my mess. Why don't you pass me that bowl over there and we'll throw this in,
Sure.
right?
Okay.
And now I have a nice clean cutting board to go ahead and cut my peppers. We're going to go ahead and cut those into kind of a dice or a square.
And they smell pretty interesting too.
They smell fresh, right?
Yeah.
They're really
do
sweet
smell
and fresh. So we're going to cut those just to kind of make them about the same size pieces. Do you know why chefs cut things the same instead of just kind of chopping it all up?
Why?
Because then things cook the same amount of time. If I had a big piece and a little piece, the little piece would get done fast, the big piece would take a long time to cook. So I try and cut consistent.
Okay, so everything's even.
Everything's even,
Yeah.
right? That's why we have names like dice and slice and stuff, because we want to try and get them all the same size. So I cut my seeds like you saw before, throw away the stem. We don't need that piece either, and I have no mess on my board, and yet I have all nice, clean pieces of bell pepper. I'm going to throw those over to the side here as we get ready to cut up some other things. You can see, even though we said vegetables, we also have a potato. This is a sweet potato.
So that's not considered a vegetable?
It's not a vegetable, it's actually a starch.
Oh.
But it's neat. It's different than the regular kind of russet or Idaho white potatoes that you're used to, because those have a lot of starch in them that are simple and kind of turn to sugar in our body. Extra sugar means extra weight.
So
right?
this is a healthy alternative.
It is. This one has a lot more fiber in it, a lot more nutrients and vitamins. So it's actually, you're still having a potato, but you're having a lot more good stuff along with it. We took these and we diced those up ahead of time because the potato's kind of hard. And then we put them in a bowl and we threw that in the microwave. We just microwaved for about 2 minutes to get them a little bit soft, and now they cook really quick.
Awesome.
So we're going to go ahead next then. I'm going to dice an onion, and how about, will you help me on some broccoli?
I can do that.
Great. I'm going to have you take them, and you can kind of just break pieces off. We want to get pieces about this big, and then I can cut those maybe in half for you. So if you want to take those and break them apart. Okay. And I'm going to show you the chef's way of dicing an onion.
Without crying.
Without crying.
Uh-oh,
well,
Jeremiah, be strong.
You can do it. I know you can. So we're going to cut it from this end, which is the root, to this end, which is the flowering end. And then we lay it down. This way it's nice and flat. It won't roll on me. I'm going to take my knife and cut down pieces through like this. Again, kind of keeping them in chunks. Don't cry. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I'm going to make a slice that goes through the middle like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut down like this. And by doing that, you can see I have dices about the same size as my bell pepper. I have that root piece that we don't need. You can pop that right in your other bowl.
I'm scared to touch it.
Don't worry, you won't cry with that one either. Right, so we have those nice chunks of onion. And we're going to take this one, do the same thing again. Cut down through it. Make one slice this way. And then we cut across it.
Whoa, now that was
wow, you're like really good at that.
I watched it on TV once and learned it from a chef.
Oh yeah, just one day.
Just one day, yeah. So I'll have you throw that one in our garbage bin too.
All
We'll
right.
throw that over with our bell peppers.
Getting a little teary-eyed.
Are you? We better get them cooking then. So let's check our pan here and see if our pan's hot. I can feel my electric skillet is warm just by touching like that. So why don't I have you take this, and you can pour maybe about a third of that oil inside the pan.
A third?
About a third.
So I'm
That's
finished.
perfect.
I'm finished with the broccoli.
Great. Why don't you throw those over to me here, and I'm going to take these and cut them in half, and you can take all that and throw it right in the skillet then.
Can I just put them?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut these a little smaller again. Why do I cut them down?
That way it's like nice and even.
Yeah,
and you can cook
perfect.
thoroughly, right?
Yeah, now they'll cook about the same amount of time that my onions and my peppers cook. Right, so we're going to cut those in a little smaller piece here.
Cool.
This is like a production line, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, all these little pieces I'll push right over.
I think the onions are getting to me.
Are you doing okay there, Jeremiah?
Be strong.
So what's the best way to prevent crying from onions?
The best way to prevent crying, there's a lot of different things that people say, but the best way is to breathe through your mouth.
Okay.
If you breathe through your nose, then it goes in your sinuses and makes you cry a lot more.
I didn't do that
Jeremiah,
right.
You know what
don't
happens when
overdo it.
somebody cries? We all cry. Should we cry with Jeremiah now too? Or
I
maybe
don't know.
not. I don't know.
I don't really want to.
I hate
I think he can do it.
I think he could do it by himself. Sorry,
So we're going to
Jeremiah.
throw those in there with you, Jeremiah. Get those cooking.
My eyes hurt.
You're doing a good job, though.
He is. And the last thing I'm going to do is have you throw in your sweet potatoes right into the onions too.
So sweet potatoes, are they actually like sweeter than regular potatoes?
It's a good question. The sweet potatoes actually taste sweeter, but they're really less starch than a regular white potato. A white potato, when we eat it, our body just turns it to simple sugar. Simple sugar means extra weight, and we get a little bit heavier. These ones, they're actually high in a lot of vitamins and nutrients and higher in fiber. Fiber helps us to get rid of weight. So it actually is healthier for us to eat a colored sweet potato than it is to eat a white regular potato.
Okay, so it's a healthy alternative.
It is. It's a much healthier alternative, and it actually tastes even a little bit better.
Okay. So,
I'm okay.
Are you? Wow, you pulled it back together quick. Do you know why? As we cook onions, we get rid of that thing in it that makes us cry. We get rid of that. It's actually like ammonia, and as they cook, you get rid of the ammonia, and now you don't cry anymore.
I wasn't crying. My eyes were sweating.
I think I saw some tears here, Maya. I don't know.
maybe.
So the
Yes.
next thing we do, after we do that, we're going to have to add some egg to it, right? First,
Okay.
we'll have Jeremiah a little bit of the jalapeno. We'll make it a little bit spicy. Maybe about half of it is good. Well, about all, too, if you like it spicy.
Whoa, Jeremiah.
He likes his hot food.
Uh-oh.
All right, so the next thing we're going to use is our egg whites.
Okay.
We're going to bring those over here and use only the egg whites because they're healthier. It's going to help us to fight even obesity.
Oh, okay. So why not just use the whole egg?
Well, the whole egg is a good way you can make an egg omelet or a fried egg, but the egg actually has two parts. It has the egg yolk. The egg yolk is actually all fat, and it has the egg white, which is actually all protein. You play football, don't you? So what do like football players and guys trying to get healthy, what do they always want to try and eat?
Protein.
Protein, right? Protein builds muscle. If we said that we're going to exercise so we need more fat, that's just going to make us out of shape. We want to get in shape, so we're going to stick to just having protein. And like I said, it actually will fight obesity.
So it's a healthy alternative.
It is a very healthy alternative to the whole egg.
Quick
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
I was thinking in my thinking mode.
Yeah.
What does obesity and diabetes have to do with each other? Aren't those
Wow.
two different topics?
There are actually two topics, but they're related. When we look at obesity, obesity is that, we're not burning enough calories as much as we're putting in our body. So our body gets a little bit bigger, right? Too many calories makes me a lot bigger and unhealthier and heavier. But diabetes, you'll be surprised to know that the leading cause of diabetes, especially in kids today, is overeating and obesity. So gaining weight is the biggest cause to childhood obesity.
So diabetes and obesity is like cause and effect.
Great way to put it, Jeremiah. It's cause and effect, right? The more food I eat, the less exercise I get. If I get fatter, I get a big chance of becoming a diabetic. So if I can cut back on my fat and get healthier, I almost eliminate the chance of me getting diabetes.
Well, you guys, kids at home, heard Chef Mike. It's also good to eat food, but you need the right exercise to go along with it. So go outside, get active, play a sport. Let's move.
Yeah, there are a lot of different things to choose from, like volleyball, tennis, or...
Football.
Oh, yeah.
Even walking, anything you do, any kind of exercise is good for you. Eating right food is only half of the equation. You really need to get some fitness in the schedule too. So we're going to use just the egg white and not the whole egg, right?
All right.
But I'm going to show you. You want to learn how we separate as a chef?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Cool. Why don't you hand me that bowl?
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to take our egg and we're going to crack it onto, have you ever seen this before? All right, great. We're going to crack it here onto the side of our bowl. And we're going to use the eggshell to kind of be our separator. So we'll let the egg white fall off like that. Put the yolk back in. And if you
Okay.
see, just by going back and forth, there's my egg white falls in. I have nothing but yolk left in there, right?
Yeah.
Nothing but net.
That's cool.
Wow,
All
that's
right.
really
Button
efficient.
that.
We'll take this. We can save it for something else if we want to. Or for our healthy thing today, we're just going to get rid of it.
Okay.
So we'll dump this egg white back in. And I think we're at the point now, Jeremiah, I'm going to have you add in the egg white right into your skillet. Just like a chef, right around the skillet. Perfect. Awesome. The next thing I'll have you do is, why don't you put a pinch of this garlic powder in, a pinch of the parsley.
Just a pinch.
Just a pinch, right? We don't want to make it too much savory. If we were making this for dinner, you can make frittatas actually for any time of the day.
Okay.
So if we're going to make it for dinner or for lunch, maybe we'd make it a little more garlic and a little more spicy and stuff. But for breakfast, we'll just make it kind of a little bit savory.
Right.
All right.
So you have your parsley and your garlic, and then here's a little bit of thyme. I'm going to have you add that too. Same
Pinch?
thing. Yeah, you can add a pinch of that. That's perfect.
Now, what exactly does thyme do for the recipe?
Thyme is a very savory herb, so it kind of makes it taste kind of really aromatic and really natural and kind of flavorful, like it's comes from the garden. And when we look at a vegetable frittata, chefs will call that lots of times a garden frittata because
Okay.
it's things from our garden.
Right.
So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to have you add just a pinch of salt. And again, a little salt is all we need, not a lot. People over salt foods all the time.
Is that
That's excellent, just like that. And the same thing on pepper.
Pepper. Okay, I have a question. This
Yeah?
is something I've always been thinking about. How come whenever you have salt, you have to have pepper? Like, what is that about?
You really don't. Do you know that most of the sweet foods that we eat, like ice cream or apple pie, they have salt in it too?
Oh, really? Oh, I know why. Doesn't like salt bring out the taste, you know?
I'm so glad you said that, Ariana. It's actually salt makes sweet things taste less sweet and more flavorful.
Okay.
So it's great. We add salt to almost everything, but we add it in just small amounts. That's why we talked about, when we're talking about cooking healthy, and your own eggs are almost done. See how you're getting a little bit of color on them?
Yeah,
That's what we want.
buddy.
When we talk about getting healthy, we don't want to put a lot of salt either, because salt is also something that kind of helps diabetics become diabetic. So we cut fat, we cut calories, we cut cholesterol, and we cut salt.
But-
So a little bit's okay.
It's still gonna taste great, right?
It's going to taste great with all those vegetables and herbs. It's going to be
looking
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
So at this point now, we're going to take the non-stick spray there. I'm going to have you spray the inside of that casserole dish.
Right
Then we're going to have you take your eggs and put it right inside that casserole, top it with some cheese,
orange.
and it's going to go right in the broiler.
Okay. So I'm gonna spray that.
That's perfect. Yeah,
Good
just a
enough?
little bit is all you need.
Okay.
And then I'll have you go ahead and you can take your eggs.
Would you like to scoop them off?
Sure, yeah.
Make sure you have an adult to help you. It's very hot, but it looks so good.
So we're going to
It
scoop our
does.
vegetable egg frittata right inside our skillet here, or in our casserole.
Yeah, buddy.
And after we scoop this in, we're going to take this pan, cover it with a bit of low-fat cheddar cheese, throw it under the broiler, which the broiler, it's at high already at about 500 degrees. Put it in the broiler. We're going to put in there for just about 3 minutes or so until the top gets beautiful and golden brown. And like we said, in Italy, frittata means fried, which they refer to as golden brown.
Ooh, frittata.
Wait, were you guys from Italy?
No.
That's the way the
Actually-
Italians say it? Frittata.
Yeah, I'm Italian.
I could tell the way you said it.
All right, well, when we come back, we're going to get to try our frittata.
Yeah. So stay tuned. You're not gonna want to miss this.
Come back.
Frittata.